Okay, so as you can see, I already have my R host. Then we have the target URI set already. Hello. Today we're going to talk about a vulnerability called the ShellShock vulnerability. The ShellShock is a security vulnerability or security flaw that is found in Bash Shell, which is a command shell interface or command line interface, as you may call it, used in many Unix and Linux-based systems. So the vulnerability allows attackers to execute arbitrary commands on a remote system by exploiting how environment variables are handled. So, in other words, or just to simplify, this means that if an attacker can control certain inputs to bash, they can inject commands that the system would execute without authorization. So that's what it basically is. And today I'm going to show you how attackers exploit these vulnerabilities in Linux-based or Unix-based systems who have like basically outdated bash versions and stuff. So stick around. Okay, so now that we already know what the ShellShock vulnerability is, let's go ahead and exploit it. So I'd hit activities on my Kali machine, it's kind of like an older one, and I would open up Metasploit, and this should take about like a minute or two. And there you go, it's already working, and we already have MSF console running. And the first thing I would do is search, because we want to look for our exploit. And we know the vulnerability name is ShellShock, so I'll type that, hit enter, and you see we have like 11 of them. So the one that would interest us is the Apache mode CGI bash env exec. Why? Because that's one of the targets vulnerability which we want to exploit in the Apache web server. So I'll look for that in this exploit. I think number 5 has it. Apache mode CGI bash env exec, and it says excellent. So you might want to go for that one. So I go all the way down and type just use 5 and do I've already selected that exploit. And next thing we have to do is show options. Show options. And you can see that we have to set the R host. Okay, so as you can see, I already have my R host. Then we have the target URI set already. And what we have to do next is set our payload. And this will enable us get a reverse connection or reverse shell to the target machine. That way we could uh, execute commands there if we wish to. So how we'll do that is with the set payload command, and we'll pick a payload like reverse TCP. What we have to do is set payload. So it's a Linux machine, so we'll use Linux. Sorry, Linux 86. Then we'll do shell reverse TCP. Sorry, hit enter right there, and that should do it. So before we exploit, so we don't waste our time, there's a command we could run to see if target is vulnerable. On that command is check. So as you can see, we just ran check, and it says that the target is vulnerable. So now we have hope that when we hit exploit, this might create a session, meaning that we will have a session or we'll have a reverse shell to the target machine. So I'd run exploits, enter right there, and there you go. It says command shell session 1 open. So we were able to get a session on this on the target machine just because were vulnerable to the shell shock vulnerability, or they had the shell shock vulnerability, as we call it. Sorry. So because we're vulnerable, or they had the shell shock vulnerability, we're able to exploit it and get reverse shell to the machine. And we're already in the machine. You can see I'm still at the system files of the machine, and I could navigate to any directory on my target machine. So now I'll show you how you could patch this vulnerability. So I'll switch to my target machine and show you how you could patch this vulnerability. So now I'm in my target machine and I'm going to show you how to patch the ShellShock vulnerability. So what you want to do is open up the command prompt, so that I've done that already. And first we want to check the bash version, so I'll do bash version. As you can see, I'm on an older version. This is the old version of bash. So what I want to do is, I've already downloaded the updated version. How to install it? Hit downloads, hit ls. You can see I have the bash 5.0. This was the old version. You see that? All I have to do is just install the newer version. Okay, as you can see, I just downloaded or installed the um, updated version of the bash. And if I go back to my target machine, sorry, my attacker machine, I try to attack this machine again, it's not going to work, and I'll show you that. So when I go back to my attacker machine right here, as you can see, I've switched back to the machine and close this. Now I've closed the session, and if I do check, you can see it says target is not exploitable. So this was only possible because the Linux machine was running on a older bash version. So always update your bash version so you don't fall victim to this exploit. Yeah, stay safe.